back to my channel, everyone. Thanks for coming back if you've been before. I really appreciate you supporting me, and welcome if you're new. I hope you really like what I'm doing. Today I thought I would dust up this rose on a nail cross. I'll just put it this way so you can sort of see what it looks like. It's the Rose of Sharon, I think, with the blood dripping down and the two nails of the cross. And this is a two-part to this video, because I am really excited. I got a bubble machine from ISTOYO. Now, they didn't give it to me. They did not give it to me, but I got it for nothing. And I haven't used it yet, and it only arrived yesterday. So I wanted to try something and do this at the same time, create a video, sort of do a review on that. I haven't used it, as I said, but the way it worked was one of our phone companies gives points for when you pay your bills, and we had all these points that were about to expire, and so I got an Amazon gift card. And then, because sometimes I buy pigment powders from Amazon, most of my stuff I get from Temu, but this particular mica powders I get from Amazon. And I thought, didn't really want to, I didn't need anything from Amazon, but I didn't want to get a gift card for anything, other things that they were offering. Lo and behold, I clicked on Amazon, and there was the ISTOYO at 47% off. So with my gift card, I didn't pay anything for the ISTOYO. I am so excited. I will show that after I finish dusting this up. Now, I've picked my colours. I'm going to do the rose, and I've made this 3 or 4 times, maybe 5 or 6 actually. I'm going to do the rose in this really pretty pink, the blood in this red, the green in this green here, the nails in this colour, and then in here I've mixed this green, and a smidgen of this to make it a darker green, because I don't want the green of the vine to be the same colour as this green. I want them slightly different, so I've made up my own colour. So I'm going to dust that up. Hopefully I won't take too long. And feel free to fast forward if you want. I hope you don't, but I don't want to just not show you. If there's anybody really new to resin, it's important to see how to dust and how much to use. If you use too much, you'll end up with it all over the place. Now, what I've got it sitting on are 2 leveling tables, because this is very thin here and very deep here. So if you don't get it level, it will drip out. So, and this is the first time I've made this on this leveling table. I'm giving it a go to see if it'll stop it overflowing this end. And because this is quite deep here, and I am going to fill it with black, because these are chameleon colours, you have to bring it up the side. So make sure that you get up the side. Now, normally I would use this fluffier brush, but that's a bit hard to get in there, so I'll use that one for the bigger area. And I will have to come back and just tidy this up after, because whatever touches the resin, the silicone first, is what you will see. Do it in little swirls like that. You shouldn't see any marks. So that's that done. This is my switching sponge. Now, I'm going to clean as I go, just to keep it tidy, because that there is part of the nail. So, and this here is part of the rose. I'll get that off. Like that. Now while that's drying, I will do the leaves. And for that one I'll go to this middle size brush. And those leaves are in this colour. They're colour shifting. I haven't done one in colour shifting colours before, I don't think. Usually I give them away as gifts. So I can't really remember. This one will go up on eBay, I'm pretty sure. See, at this angle, this looks a dark green. From this angle, this looks gold. This is the prettiest thing. You don't get a lot, but this is from Temu. I got, I think I bought 3 or 4 of the same one. Now, this vine here and down around here, I'll do in a thin brush, and that's for this darker colour. These leaves probably should match this. So I'm going to have to get into here. I'll do it with this one here. I don't want to get my head in the way. Just need to pick that up a bit. So what I'll do is I might actually move this, work here, and then I'll bring that leveling table back when I'm ready to pour, because I can see better if I do it this way and it's a bit steadier. So I always have a look at these two here and try and work out, are they part of the, is it the, what's it called, the callus, or that part of the, just under the rose. These are under the rose, the bits that are folded back, but is this also part of it? And I never know. I flip it over to have a look, and it's very hard to tell. So I'm thinking I might just, oh, see, there's a leaf there though. No, I think I'll make those part of the rose. And I'll put that in here. Bring that round here like that. Make sure that all of that is covered. Any more of those? No. So now put that there, switching sponge, and I need to clean up around here, just down there. There. You may not be able to see it, but as you're working, it flicks the tiniest amount, and that tiny amount will show up like crazy with the black. So if you need one of these to get in there with a little bit of alcohol, just to wipe that out. Just get that red out of there, because that's a different colour. And I forgot I have to, that and that are where the rose has been tied to the cross. I need to get that off. just dip. That's there. Now what I'll do, I'll start the rose up here, and by that time this should be dry, hopefully. Now, I would put you on fast forward for this, but I'm not sure. I might try that. I don't know how to do that. Let me have a look. That's videoing. I have no idea how to do fast forward. It's been 11 minutes. I might stop it now and finish dusting. I'll bring it back when I'm nearly finished dusting. So I've done most of this and I've cleaned up as I've gone. That should be on and it isn't. Sorry. That's better. So I've done most of this and I thought I'd bring you back just to finish off the nails. I've taken it up the sides. I've cleaned up as I've gone. Now you'll notice there's a bit of silver here on top of the pink. That doesn't matter. The pink hit the silicone first. It's the pink that will come through. So when you're doing something as intricate as this, it's probably best to clean up as you go, because if you haven't put, like all along here, there's a little bit of pink I can see there. Then I look sideways. I just want to clean that there, otherwise that is going to show up really badly. And just take that bit of green there. And then all I've got left to do is this colour. And it doesn't matter where I get this, because as I said, I've done all the smaller parts. So get that right up here, take that right along here. You can sort of blend it a bit. Doesn't matter if that green goes there, the brown goes on the green. And then what we're going to do is hit off the extra, because you don't want it floating. Make sure you haven't missed anything. I chose silver for these little things here, those ties. Now, just checking. There's a little bit there. There's a little bit I've missed. Sometimes with these chameleon powders, you've got to just tilt it right down here. You've got to tilt it to make sure that you haven't missed anything. And then up here, that depth in there. All right, so I'm going to hit it over here. I've got, just over here, I've got my garbage bin. I'm going to give it a bit of a hit on the edge of the garbage bin, and then I'm going to get a big fluffy one of these and just burnish it in a bit. So this just takes off all the extra. Move that out of the way, and this will also take off any of the extra. If these colours stay relatively the same, it's going to look very pretty. Okay, so I will stop this now, go and have my dinner, come back, and then we're going to look at this ISTOYO anti-bubbling, debubbling thing. Back. So this is the ISTOYO bubble remover. It comes, you've got to press this up like this. It's quite heavy, but not too heavy to remove. It comes with this suction here at the top, like that. And it comes with this base. Now, this little silicone mat I've had for ages in the hope that one day I would get a bubble remover. I've put that in the bottom. I just bought that from Temu. I put that in the bottom so if there's any spillage, I can just take it out from the silicone and not have to worry about it on the plastic. So it comes with that, the lid, 4 plastic cups, and all 4 of those fit in here. And I'm hoping they'll still fit now I've put that silicone in. And I hope that they sit straight. Now, I might have to cut that down so it fits better. Yeah, I might just have to cut that down. So it sits there like that, so you can fit quite a lot in. Now they say don't fill it right up here because it will overflow. So they suggest about halfway on these. I'm only doing 90 grams or 90 mils of resin for this tonight, so I'll only need 1. It comes in an Australian plug for us, and it's USB and has to be plugged in for it to work. So I'm going to take these out because I only need 1. And I'll put that there. I've got it on my balance tables. I'm going to put that on there just for the moment. When you plug this in, it'll turn green. There is this button to start it. Not sure what these little buttons are. Let me have a little look. It says place the resin cup in and close the lid securely. Plug and play. The red indicator lights up constantly once the power is connected. Press this button here to turn on. The indicator light will turn green after a few seconds. It will take 5 to 8 minutes to complete. Then press the release button here and wait for 30 seconds for the pressure to completely release. Firmly grip under on these, use these little lugs here and here to push up so you don't spill your resin inside. If there are small bubbles on the surface, and apparently that happens with all debubblers, you can either use a heat gun to remove it or spray it with alcohol. It says do not use fast cure in this. The best type, choose deep casting or regular resin. Fast drying resin, which is that 4-hour fast cure, may affect bubble removal during their curing speed and viscosity. When you're mixing resin, make sure the resin is mixed fully because this is not a mixer. This is just a debubbler. So you've got to mix and scrape your sides, scrape your bottom, mix and so forth. The resin temperature, if the temperature is too low, heat the resin to 70 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. That's probably about 25 degrees Celsius for effective bubble removal. Please do not place the resin container on the vent so you don't shove it up there like that. Take out the resin, make sure the pressure has been completely released. Hold the machine securely and slowly lift the lid using both thumbs to prevent resin spillage. Cleaning up spills, promptly clean resin spills in case resin cured and it will be difficult. Oh, okay. So if the resin cures, it's going to be almost impossible to remove it from here. So if you have a bit of spillage, wipe it up straight away. Okay. I have no idea what these little buttons are. I think they're just there for show. Anyway, it may, unless they light up as it starts to build pressure. So what I'm going to do is mix 60 mils of A and 30 mils of B. I'll put on some gloves. And I'll find the other one. Oh, that's right, it's split. So So I'll mix that and I'll use my favourite. I don't want that. It's got a bit of powder on it. I don't want to use that one. I'll get a new one. Just getting 2 gloves. And I've got it all set up on my levelling table. So I've got two levelling tables, and I cut the, so you can see it under there like that. I cut the Teflon just to fit over the side because I like working on the black. It shows up better, I think, on the film. So I'm going to use 360 plus. And so what is it? 30. What I might do is 50 because these don't have 30 and 60. So I'll do 50, make it up to 150. It's going to be way too much. I don't want that. What have I got smaller? Oh. What have I got that's smaller? Oh, I know. Hang about. Where are they? These actually have, have 60 mils. I'll use that one. Right, so, and I'll mix it in here. I'll just move that out of the way. So I'm using the Platinum 360 plus. I don't want to bump that. 360 plus A and B. So it will be 30 of B. 30 of B. Just make sure that that won't come out. Okay, 30 of B. Now I've got to hold it up to my eyes. Sorry, guys. In fact, I'll sit down so you can see what I'm doing. 30. Of B. And 60 of A. I'll just scrape all this out. I don't want all that out. Okay, so that's 30. And then 60 of the A. Now, 60's there. It's a bit close to you. I'm eyeballing it. 60. And that's it. Mix that around there like that. Okay, put the lid back on these so I don't spill them. Back up here. Put this one back up here. Set my 5-minute mark. And just like these. this out here. Just wiping this. So, because I've got a smaller area with these two little tables, I want to make sure that I'm not going to get a mess everywhere. So I'm just cleaning this out like that. I'll spray that when I'm finished. Put that over there. I'm just wiping this. And I'll spray that after as well. So I can put that over here out of the way. Yeah. That there and that there. Now you can see in the beginning, if you're new to resin, you can see when you put the two parts together how it's very streaky. That's totally not mixed. So you have to scrape the sides. And yes, my stick is dirty, but the reason resin people use dirty sticks is because the resin coats the wood and then the wood doesn't give off bubbles. Wood is porous and it will give off bubbles. So it's better to have a coating of resin. Around here. Scraping, and you mix for 5 minutes. Now in the mixing you're going to create bubbles, and up until when this came I was just trying to get the bubbles out with and they can be big bubbles or they can be micro bubbles, but I was just trying to get them out with alcohol and a little okay, that's something I've got to be careful. That didn't sound very strong. It's got a micro crack in that. Be careful. I'm used to stronger plastic. Scraping the sides, always scraping the sides, scraping the bottom. You can see already the streakiness is not there as much. It's still not mixed properly because you've got to mix it from 3 to 5 minutes. I like doing 5. But there's a lot of bubbles in there already, so I'm going to be very interested and very excited to see how this goes. Now, because I am making this black, I'm going to put in the pigment about now. I've been stirring it about 3.5 minutes. You can see the streakiness has gone. The streakiness is gone. I'll get the black pigment, which is just here, and I'm pretty sure this is one of the ones I've made. It may not be, I can't remember. Always give your pigment a stir. And I'll just put about that much in. Scrape that off. Scrape that off. And then I'll wipe the rest of this. But I won't put that back into the container because it's got resin on it, so I'll just wipe this off. Clean that stick. And mix this. And it's vital that you not only mix your resin well, but you mix your pigment in well. Now, because the pigment's in here, I won't be able to see how many bubbles are coming out of this, but I think when that's removing the bubbles, it actually comes up the glass a bit and then goes back down. So I think I'll be able to see it working. If I put the pigment in after it's debubbled, means I've basically got to go and put it back in, because when you mix the pigment in, you're mixing bubbles in, and I don't want to do that. Just getting myself some more paper towel. I'll just wipe this, make sure there's no pigment on this one. There shouldn't be, because I put it in on the smaller stick. I just want to make sure there's no pigment around here. Yep, that's good. Here's the exciting bit. Oh, I am so excited. Right, cleaning up. Now, this is where I want to make sure I've got no resin on my hands. Alright, I'll just put that there. Actually, put the pigment lid back on. And then I'm going to swoosh my gloves again. I'm going to lift this. 2 thumbs underneath. Lift that. Put this in. Now it's not even halfway. Put that in the middle. Put this back on. Press it down. And press the button. It's turning green like it said. I'm going to sit down at the side here and see if it's doing anything. Apparently it changes noise as it builds up. I'll just have to wait and see. That one. Make sure this is moving. Something's happening on the surface. Yes, I can see little bubbles popping. Oh, this is exciting. Can't see it as clearly as if it was clear resin, but I can see it. I think I'm going to put my phone light on. No, there's little bubbles doing something on the top there. Yep, definitely bubble. Yep, and I can see, even with the black, I can see that there's a layer of bubbles. Now this is your release. I have no idea what these are. No idea at all. We'll see. Definitely bursting bubbles. I am excited. This down without cutting you guys off. Sorry, cut you off trying to take you out of the phone holder. Ooh, they're creating big bubbles now. Well, this is working really well. I'm going to try and get you out so you can have a look. Right, can you see how those bubbles? Oh, that is working so well. And down on the side of the cup, it's a bit hard because of this shaping of the thing, but down the side of the cup, you can see these big bubbles here. That's on the side of the cup that's in there. That's awesome. So if you're thinking of getting a debubbler, I think this was about 160 Australian dollars. And I got it with 47% off. So I paid, well I didn't pay, I had a gift card for $100. And I think this cost me about 90. Just finished. I've pressed the release button, and now what I'm going to do is I want to work from one of these smaller ones. It says, oh there you go, so now the button's off, so now it should be good. Oh, that lifts off very easily. And what I'll do is I don't want to put that down on that cord that's sticking out, so I'll take that cord out. Lay it here, put down. I'm just putting it over to the side, upside down. I'm going to move that out of the way. And then I can't tell because it's black. It does have a couple of bubbles there, but I have heard from other YouTubers that you can spritz that and that'll take care. But those surface bubbles are normal in any debubbler. So now, I know it came all the way up to here and then bubbled, and didn't think it had so many bubbles in it. I'm going to very carefully pour it in here. I don't want to introduce more bubbles. And this should be level because the table's level. So I'm going to pour it slowly. Now, if I was just doing this without putting mica on it, I would be spritzing this mold because there's so many nooks and crannies in here. But because it's got mica powder everywhere, there should not be an issue with bubbles. I'll pour from here while I've got the bigger areas to do. This part's quite deep, as I said, but down near the point of the nail, it's very shallow. Let that settle for a minute. Pour some more over here. I want to pour into here. here. Now, this is where I might have to get my silicone poker and just bring this around because I don't want it doming. When it domes on this particular one, when it domes, it overflows. So I'll just take this down into the corner. And this one up here. Bring this right up here into that corner. Now here, it needs to have a bit more. And I'll pour some here, just not at the very point, and I'll just lead it down like this. And it does seem to be very, very straight, very level. There's that. Just a little bit more here. A little bit more up here. It has thickened up a bit, I must say. The other thing with this is you have to be careful that these struts underneath are straight. Because if they're not, the whole thing will sort of go sideways. Now, one little bubble there, that's nothing to worry about. Just push this up here. Bring that into that corner there. There, like that. Add a little bit more. It is quite thick. It should take most of this because I measured this at 89, I think, and we made 90, so it should just about take everything. I'll just wipe this off there, so I'll get this end. See what that this leveling table's good. There's no indication it's going to run anywhere. Just I really don't want to spray it with alcohol because that's when it does start to break its banks. I'll just see if I can get those out. Little pockets of mica floating up. Just grab that around there. Might have to just, that's okay. You know what, guys, it does not look like it is flowing anywhere it shouldn't be flowing. I'm going to get one of these toothpick, a bit of a sharper point, get that out, get that out. It's mica powder. There it goes. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to break his banks. I can sort of sit here and just babysit this for the next half hour or so. I'll get all of this out of here, just scraping this out of this, because I'll keep this little cup. There's not much left in there. What have I got? Not much at all. I'll put that in. I'm just spraying my hands. So I don't like the resin on the gloves. What's that? I'll spray this. And put that there. This won't fill it, but I can add more to it. It has thickened up a lot, so when it was in the bubbler. But then this 360 Plus has been doing that, so it's about half full. I can finish filling that with something else tomorrow. Throw that cup out and get my paper towel. And I will spray that. Now that looks like it's just, this is one of the best pours, touch wood, because I haven't had to spray it with alcohol to get the bubbles out. And usually that's what causes it to start leaking everywhere. And it usually leaks from the point here, and then it leaks from there. So if you're going to get this mould, I'm pretty sure you can still get it because I just bought another one, and I don't think they were selling out. There are ridges. I'll show you on the new one. Ribs or ridges, whatever you like to call it. Sorry about the rattling. You can see underneath here, it's got that rib. Those are the ones there, and the cross ones here, you have to make sure are straight, because if they are crooked or bent, then it will throw the whole level out. So I'm not going to worry about those because they are not bubbles per se. They are, and you can see, look, they're the mica powder that's going to come up. What I'll do is I'll clean this up so it's not such a big mess. And get some more paper towel. Let's clean that. Pretty short, yep. I'll spray into that. Spray into that. Just wiping out this cup because I want to use that again. They're not very strong cups. And I'm not sure if I did crack it a little bit, although it didn't leak out. So I'll just spray this again. And I use 100% alcohol, which I get from a company at the Gold Coast in Australia. and it's not very expensive. See, I think I did crack a little bit there. Yeah, that's all right. It's only surface cracks, I think. Get right in the bottom there. Get that out. A little bit more, a bit fussy when it comes to cleaning up. I want to get right down in this corner. Almost as good as new, as good as it's going to get. I'll wipe this off. Yeah, and here. This Teflon is so smooth and so easy to get stuff off. And if the resin sets on it, it just peels. Oops, just put that back there. And they're on easy slide gliders underneath, so you can slide it. And the reason I've started to work on these is that if I want to do another project tonight, I put that there, lift this carefully and put it somewhere else, and then I've got another one to work on. But I'm not going to work on another one tonight. I'm going to hit the sack soon. I just want to babysit this for a little bit. Nothing worse than going to bed or walking away and thinking, oh, it's fine, and then come out later to find that it's done its own thing and it's dribbled all over your table and the floor and left you an awful mess. So sometimes it's better just to babysit for the sake of those 5-10 minutes that you might save. Okay, so I am thrilled with the bubble remover. If that was 90 mils, and I could do 4 lots of that, I could do up to 360 mils at a time in that ISTOYO bubble remover machine. And that's a lot, that's good. So I'm very, very happy with that, and I'm very happy to think that there's no bubbles coming up. I am so chuffed. If you're liking what I'm doing, please like, share and subscribe. Leave a comment. No, not a nasty one, please. Not into that. But I will bring you back when this is ready for demold. Okay, see you when I bring it back. It's unveiling time. And I was really pleased with the bubble remover, but I was also really pleased with these leveling tables. So I've got the 2 of them here. Here they are, and you just screw these down. And this little thing in the middle here indicates if it's level. There's a little dot. You've just got to keep that in the middle. Now it does come with these silicone mats, but I like working on the Teflon, so I've cut some Teflon, as I think I've told you earlier in the video. Cut some Teflon to fit the size. I bought 2 of them from Temu, and I've got them together so that if I'm working here, I can move it here. If I've put it there, see, I worked on this, as you saw yesterday. I dusted it without this, and then when I was ready to pour the resin, I put it back on here. And this is the first one of these crosses that I have not had to sit and babysit and try and level it. It was leveled, and I didn't have to spray it. I didn't spray it with the alcohol, which may have made it break its banks, but I didn't have to do that because of the debubbler. Now we're going to see if it's worked on the other side. So I'll just sit down here. Quite excited to see how this one's turned out. Now if you're using this, be careful. This is a very sharp point. I always make these hanging, but you've got to be careful. And you still need to go around because this, you can see, look, see how thin that is? Whereas up here, it's this deep, right? It's quite deep. So you can never really dome them, although this is pretty domed. I still have to go around and take that sharp edge off. It's not as sharp as it could have been, but it is sharp. You don't want anyone stabbing somebody with this. Okay. And this one, there are lots of little places in here. You've just got to, I just get my, where is it here? I just get my scalpel and just take off that little bit of an edge. Doesn't take much, just a little scrape like that. That's enough to blunt it. Takes time, so I won't do that in front of you. But you just go around like that. Just on the very edge of the scalpel. The only thing using a scalpel is you've got to be careful it doesn't slip, because if it does, you'll scratch the coloured side, the good side. So bring it around like that. And you should be wearing gloves. I should be wearing gloves. So that's pretty good now. And that's all I'm going to do right around. Okay, let's have a look. Wow, that is pretty. That pink is much darker than I thought it was going to be. It's quite vibrant. And I love that colour for the blood. And it's, even though the green looked very similar when I was putting it in, very different, very different. I'm very pleased with this. That's lovely. But you can see how it goes very thin to quite thick. And that's why it's hard to dome this. But I found that with the debubbling, which because of the 10 minutes it took to debubble, and the 5 minutes stirring, that was 15 minutes out of a work time of about half an hour. You've got to be quick. So if you're going to use a debubbler that takes about 10 minutes and you're going to use the 360 plus or one that's like that, then I suggest you have everything ready so that when you've debubbled, you're ready to pour. But I am so pleased. The silver came out beautifully. This is one of my better ones. Oh, I do like that. Thrilled, actually. The Rose of Sharon, which was Christ on the cross, and the nails that would have been put into his scalp and his arms, well, not his scalp, but his arm, his wrists, would have been about this size. Beautiful. All right, I'll take some photos of that, and I'll show you on the back. I normally just glue a little art hook, and that will be up in my eBay store. So if you're liking the content that I'm doing so far, please like, share and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, that helps. Dings you or shows up when I put up a new one. I'm going to start putting up videos a little bit more often once I get ahead of myself a bit. And my eBay link, my eBay store link is in the description. If I can possibly find a link for something, I will put it in the link. If the link is not there, it's because I couldn't find something, either what I've used or something that's the same. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.